Hello everyone. This is the month of Ramadan, and billions of Muslims around the world are unfortunately superstitious enough to completely starve from dawn to dusk. I understand that many Muslims around the world do not have the privilege of education or the freedom to even question Islam. Western imperialism and capitalistic exploitation of the third world, along with superstitious Islamic ritual and oppressive Islamic cultural practices, play play a role in keeping the Muslim world in the dark age. It's a mixture of many complex factors. It's not liberal wokeness that prevent us from being critical of Islam. There are also woke right-wing Christian who can't tolerate any criticism of religion. Less privileged people are more likely to be superstitious and skeptical of science. It's also difficult to look beyond indoctrination when you are living in an oppressive Islamic country that's also under sanction and closed off from the rest of the world, like Iran. I wish I did not have to make this video debunking Ramadan, but I have seen many educated English speaking Muslims who are doctors and engineers perpetuating the myth that Ramadan fasting is good for health. All my life I grew up in Bangladesh, learning, listening that fasting in Ramadan is scientific. So let's examine if Islamic fasting is actually scientific. First of all, why would an all-powerful creator of the universe, Allah, ask petty human or command petty human to fast? This is a very silly request from the creator of the universe. There are better effective way to instill good habit, self-discipline, and compassion for the poor without starving yourself. Fasting was not commanded by your imaginary Allah. Ramadan is a medieval Arab practice. It comes from the Arab culture and not from the divine God. There are ancient stories of Arab starving camels and later feeding camels to make the camel stronger for traveling long distance during periods of drought and food scarcity. This medieval Arab practice of fasting is still practiced by billions of Muslims around the world. If fasting is divine and sacred, then all-knowing Allah should have thought about the North Pole. Places in Russia, Sweden, Iceland, Greenland, Norway experience perpetual sunlight. There are countries like Norway that experience 6 months of sunlight and 6 months of darkness. So can you fast for 6 months? You are gonna die. And Muslims, they just follow the timeline of the nearest country to Mecca. Yeah, of course they don't fast for 6 months. But Allah seems very confused and inconsistent in designing nature and sending divine revelation via Quran. There are benefits of medical intermittent fasting if it is done under the guidance of a licensed medical professional. But medical intermittent fasting is very different from Islamic fasting in Ramadan, when Muslims starve from dawn to dusk and are not even allowed to drink water. Islamic fasting can cause dehydration, stress, lack of sleep, increased stress. It can disturb your sleep cycle, nausea, headache, heartburn from stomach acid, weakness and hunger. Decrease in alertness and increased irritability can cause fights and accidents. A lot of people experience fluid loss during fasting and call it weight loss, but you will gain that same weight very easily. Fasting is ineffective for long-term weight loss, and if you want to establish healthy lifestyle and eating habit. Fasting can also trigger eating disorder and binge eating. Fasting can also steer away people from healthy eating recommendation. A lot of Muslims do not take their medication timely during the month of Ramadan or even stop their medication completely. Although people who are sick, they don't have to fast, but in practice, a lot of Muslim who are ill, they still do fast because God is more important than their health and medical science. Traditionally, most Muslims around the world eat festive food high in fat, sugar, and oil to break the fast. In other poorer countries, poverty ensures weight loss during Ramadan. There are as many studies as possible that have shown either no significant loss of body mass or a slight increase during Ramadan. There are also conflicting reports of crime rates going up and down during Ramadan. Secular countries full of atheist, agnostic majority population have the lowest crime rate in the world. You do not need to believe in religion to be a good person. Religious scriptures are full of outdated moral values. An increased number of Muslims attended the accident and emergency department of a British hospital during the month of Ramadan compared to similar time period before and after Ramadan. This finding may be the result of the mood change and decrease in cognitive function resulting from the alteration in dietary habit during Ramadan. Interestingly, a retrospective examination of all road traffic casualties seen at a local hospital in Al-Aina city in UAE over a 12-month period found that there was a greater number of injuries, accidents during Ramadan than during other months. Ramadan can also result in loss of life since life-saving blood donation dropped by 1/3. Violence and antisocial behavior towards non-Muslim increased during the month of Ramadan. While growing up in Bangladesh, I have seen Muslims also expecting non-Muslims not to eat at all and even beating up non-Muslims if they're caught eating during Ramadan. That's entitlement, bullying, and domination. All my life, I was shamed by my mother, maids, aunts, and classmates for even thinking about eating in Ramadan. Eating is a very basic biological function, and you should never be ashamed of basic human needs. You are not evil or sinful for being human. Please do like and subscribe. It's very difficult for me to speak with my speech impediment. Happy Ramadan. I gotta go and enjoy my delicious salsa and chips. Mmm.